Good morning and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. The NFL trade deadline is, we'll call it a day and a half, but it's really a little bit less than a half away. And there's been plenty of trade buzz and intrigue and rumors and all those keywords around the Dallas Cowboys right now, who are at least making calls and receiving calls. And Jerry Jones, at least publicly, a little bit more open to wheeling and dealing. Of course, Stephen Jones has plenty of input here along with Will McClay, etc. Here's what Jerry said. Quote, if I have a chance to do something that would be interpreted as real meat on the bone of going for it, then I would do that. First off, classic Jerryism. I feel that good about our chances here. I would do that. Yeah, and I'd give up some future currency to go for it. We'll break down some players who are on the market, have been linked to Dallas, etc. But first, a question for you. Will the Cowboys make another trade? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off in the comments, and while you're down there, make sure you guys are subscribed. If a trade happens, you know we will break it down for you, just like we did with the Jonathan Hankins deal last week. The Cowboys have made a trade in 5 of the last 4 trade deadline periods. Maybe they'll make it 2 trades this year, which they did a couple years ago, although one of those was selling Everson Griffin, so we'll see on that front. But maybe Terrell Basham gets moved since they're so deep at edge. Hit that big red button, or black and white. YouTube's making some changes, and make sure your notifications are set to all so you don't miss out on any video every single day right here at the Cowboys Report. There might even be a second video today for you guys later on in the afternoon. Let's get into Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos wide receiver. Maybe it was the showcase game against Jacksonville. Maybe it was we want to keep him a key part of our offense. Jeudy played well against the Jags, and the latest buzz has been Denver is not going to just give him away, and they're not as sold on moving Jerry Jeudy. I do think a strong offer would be required to obtain the Denver Broncos wide receiver. Now, what exactly a strong offer is can be up for debate, I think, a little bit. I had wondered, can you get him for a third? I do that in a heartbeat, but I also mentioned, when you say you do that in a heartbeat, probably means other teams want it. I think a second at minimum maybe right now if Denver really does not just want to give him away. I'm not trading a first for him, but I would at least consider a second. The Cowboys, as most people agree with, not everybody though, but most people, are in the market for more wide receiver help. CeeDee Lamb has played really well this year. Again, he's on pace for another 1,000-yard campaign. The Cowboys did get Michael Gallup going last week as well. Noah Brown's been a nice piece for you when healthy. He's banged up though. Jalen Tolbert's breakout game did not come close to happening. Kevontae Turpin is not in great shape. And there's this part too. God forbid one of your big 2 go down, Lamb, or probably especially Lamb, but also Gallup. You are dangerously thin at wide receiver. You have no real proven depth right now, and I'm not going to pretend that James Washington is going to fix everything once he comes back either. So I would have interest in the right wide receiver at the right cost, but, it takes 2 to tango, right? So I want you guys to head in the comments section and let me know a player you want the Cowboys to go trade for. It's the pinned comment on today's video, so head down to the comments section and drop a name for me, especially if the ad break comes right now on YouTube. Another receiver I think that the Cowboys could have some interest in, Brandin Cooks. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, and every player we're going through, there's a big but involved, and that's why you don't always, not like that, Jeremy, calm down. That's why you don't always see trades go down at the trade deadline. Takes 2 to tango, right? The Texans are listening to offers on Brandin Cooks. They also just paid him this offseason. Typically, you don't see teams pay a player and then go, we changed our mind and ship him off because Houston's in pretty dire straits at receiver. Anyway, Cooks has been a 1,000-yard receiver 3 of the last 4 years. 2019, the outlier year. Again, the numbers way down, injuries, etc. Concussions were a problem there for him. He's had those in the past too. Not playing as well this year production-wise. I probably blame the fact that I don't think Davis Mills is very good. Now, short term, the contract is eminently affordable. $1.64 million is his total cap hit. It's that number divided by 17 times how many games he's going to play for you the rest of the year, regular season. So it's not actually quite that high. It's a little bit less. It's roughly half if we're just playing fast and loose with the money. But next year, things get interesting. $18.5 million cap hit, fully guaranteed. There's an $18 million base salary there. That's a lot of money for the Cowboys to figure out. Now, you could just restructure the deal, get away from it, but you didn't want to pay Amari big bucks. Now you're going to pay Brandin Cooks big money next year. That could be a potential I don't know if roadblock is the right word, but potential problem in a Brandin Cooks trade. Because the Cowboys took down the Chicago Bears in very impressive fashion, 20-point win, it's victory week, and we're bringing back the BetUS and Cowboys jersey deal. Here's how you can get it. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Takes you right into the BetUS site. Use promo code Cowboys125 when you put down at least $100 and place a bet. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. And if you email us, jersey@chatsports.com, we'll get you hooked up with a Cowboys jersey. Lots of variety. Not every single jersey is available, but there's a pretty good array. These are official NFL jerseys, by the way. We'll take care of you. Simple step process or multi-step process. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys125. Sign up and deposit at least $100 and then place a bet. You will get a 125% deposit bonus if you followed the first 2 points up there of Cowboys125 and chatsports.com/bet. Then email us, jersey@chatsports.com, so we can get your information. You know, what jersey you want. We'll want a screenshot of your account. Make sure you actually signed up and aren't just trying to game the system or whatever. And then we'll need like your shipping information too, and your jersey size, etc. Email us, jersey@chatsports.com. And if that's a bit confusing, multiple steps, whatever, just email us. We'll send you the full list of information, jersey@chatsports.com. Let's go to Elijah Moore, the Jets wide receiver, who is trying really hard to get traded. The Jets have played very well this year. Elijah Moore did not make any real impact against the Patriots, got benched after he missed a pretty big block. And then he was asked after the game, well, what's your chemistry like with Zach Wilson? Elijah Moore goes, I don't know. I don't get the ball. Yikes there. Moore is a former second-round pick, a talented receiver, no doubt. It'd be a fun addition in Dallas. The but here for me is this the type of player you want on your roster? He's not better than CeeDee Lamb. I'm unconvinced. In fact, I don't think he is better than Michael Gallup. He'd be an awesome number 3 for you, but that's the issue in New York. He's the number 3 right now, / number 4 with the way they use Braxton Berrios. So I don't know if Elijah Moore would be a malcontent in Dallas. That's a huge red flag for me, and I think you'd have to vet that pretty heavily. And plus, you have issues between the Jets and Cowboys front office, and that's a whole longer issue stemming from the Jamal Adams trade. Now, we will be live for the 2022 NFL trade deadline on the Chat Sports YouTube channel. Head over there and subscribe. I'll put the link in the comments section in the description as well, by the way. youtube.com/@ChatSports. That is the NFL trade deadline. Live coverage starting Tuesday around noon Central. I'll be hosting, unless the Cowboys make a deal, but we'll be live for it. So go subscribe. We'll keep you covered on every bit of news, rumor, and all the stuff in between. youtube.com/@ChatSports. Let's talk other wide receiver trade targets here. I'll go with the 2 Patriots receivers first. Kendrick, Bourne, Nelson Agholor. Fit what you don't have, which is a speedy outside threat. Gallup can play downfield, but he's not a burner. Bourne and Agholor are. They've also both fallen out of favor and a little bit more expensive than what you would want money-wise. Chase Claypool, I've heard conflicting things if he's really going to be available from that point. The Steelers, first there was, we want a Christian McCaffrey package. Then, well, maybe a third. I think a third might be a little rich, but he brings a size and speed combo that not many receivers do bring. I'm curious what the cost is. I'd call. Finally, the guy everyone wants, DJ Moore. I would not anticipate him being available via trade, at least not at a reasonable cost. Carolina views him as a core piece. They just paid him a massive contract in the offseason. Super affordable for the Cowboys this year, but Carolina's not going to give away a young core piece. I don't think their fire sale is nearly as hyped as what it will actually, or it won't be as much as hyped as it's been in the media. I would be pretty shocked if DJ Moore got dealt. You guys know what I mean. It didn't really make any sense. But when it comes to receivers, will the Cowboys add one? That made Jeremy laugh at least. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Get those predictions in. Where else but the comments? Finally, let's talk defense briefly here. How about Bradley Chubb? Bonk you, Jeremy. Just because it says Chubb doesn't mean have to be all horny in here. Bradley Chubb is drawing trade interest from a variety of NFL teams, and I think the Cowboys might be one of those teams in the mix. The issue here, the cost would be expensive. But Bradley Chubb would be a big addition for this Dallas Cowboys team. Through 8 games this year, 5.5 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, bunch of pressures, higher rate than normal, 4 TFLs. The addition of Chubb would be so much fun for your defense, and I think he's a pretty good run stopper. There would be an irony in some capacity of you lose Randy Gregory to Denver, and that allows you to get Bradley Chubb via trade. But I think the cost might be a bit too much here for Dallas. Lots of teams need pass rushers. Chubb is by far the biggest one on the trade block. So I think second, if you're lucky to get him, might be a first-round pick at this rate with the way the trade deadline appears to be going. I don't view edge as that big of a need for Dallas. Tank Lawrence has played awesome despite some missed sacks on Justin Fields, lost some contain. Of course, Micah plays so much edge for you. Dante Fowler, when he's not off sides, makes some plays. Golston's a decent run stopper, but he's been only okay. Sam Williams is a bit nicked up. He's flashed. Dorrance Armstrong, I don't like against the run, but he's been really impactful as a pass rusher this year. And there's Terrell Basham on IR, who you could potentially trade as well. All those things together, I'm not going to be mad if they go make a big deal for Chubb. I would wonder if it's going to fit their cost and their cost-benefit analysis, which we know how the Cowboys operate when it comes to their premium draft picks. If you have any trade thoughts, feel free to DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney, and we will potentially see you guys later this afternoon for some more Cowboys trade rumors.